So, you've probably seen all the recent news, right? A little something from Tesla, an announcement from the Boring Company, and of course, another launch from SpaceX. On the surface, they all seem totally separate. But what if I told you they're all part of one single, absolutely massive playbook for the future? Let's connect the dots. It really all starts with this one question. What if a huge project, one that everybody pretty much wrote off as a failure, wasn't actually dead at all? And what if it wasn't just not dead, but was actually the master key? The one piece that unlocks a future connecting something as down to earth as traffic tunnels with, believe it or not, data centers orbiting the planet. Okay, so the project we're talking about is Tesla's Project Dojo. Its recent comeback from the dead isn't just a small course correction, it's a huge signal about the company's AI ambitions, and it's really the first piece of this whole unified vision we're going to unpack. Now, for anyone who's not totally up to speed, Dojo isn't a new car model. Think of it as a brain. It's a custom-built supercomputer, and its one and only job is to sift through the insane amount of video data streaming in from every single Tesla on the road to train their self-driving AI. And man, its journey has been a total roller coaster. First announced back in 2021, the whole project was suddenly paused in mid-2025. Everyone thought, well, that's it for Dojo. But then, just a few months later, work is back on. So, what happened? Why the pause and why the sudden restart? Well, the answer really boils down to a single word: focus. You see, Elon Musk called the development of their next-gen in-car computer, the AI-5 chip, existential for the company. That chip had to work. It's the brain for the cars and for the Optimus robot. So they pulled everyone off Dojo and put all hands on deck to perfect that one chip. And this roadmap right here lays out the whole strategy. AI-4 is what's in cars right now. AI-5 is the one they just stabilized. That's for almost perfect driving and Optimus. But here's the kicker. Look at the last row. AI-7, also known as Dojo 3. Look at its planned location. That's not a typo. We're talking space-based data centers. And you've got to ask, why on earth would you do that? Well, it turns out to be kind of genius. Up in space, the two biggest problems for supercomputers just vanish. You get pretty much unlimited solar power, and the vacuum of space is the perfect and totally free cooling system. It's a way to scale AI to a level you just can't do down here on Earth. Okay, so while Tesla is planning for a future of computing in orbit, the Boring Company is taking that exact same philosophy of radical industrial-scale thinking and applying it to a very, very down-to-earth problem: traffic. And get this. They're so sure their way is better that they've made this wild offer to any city that's interested. They'll build the first mile of a tunnel completely free, just to prove it works. The whole idea is to completely change how we think about tunneling. Right now, it's slow, insanely expensive, and every project is a one-off. They want to turn it into an assembly line, something fast, cheap, and repeatable, just like building a car, or, you guessed it, a rocket. And this isn't just talk. There's a real-world test case on the table right now, a proposed 9-mile tunnel near Tesla's Gigafactory in Nevada, designed to fix a huge traffic bottleneck for thousands of workers. And the need? There is absolutely real. That specific stretch of highway sees an accident almost every 2 days. So this isn't just about making the commute faster. It's a genuine safety issue that needs a solution. Okay, so we've got the AI brain plan for space and scalable infrastructure tunnels planned for Earth. But how do you connect the two? You need a reliable, affordable bridge to orbit. And that bridge, of course, is SpaceX. The shift in scale here is just mind-boggling. I mean, look at this. In its entire 30-year history, the Space Shuttle program flew 135 missions. In about half that time, SpaceX's Falcon rockets have flown over 600 times. Access to space isn't the same game anymore. So what's the secret sauce? It's one word: reusability. A single rocket booster, like B-1067, has flown to space and back 30 times. That's what changes everything. It turns a launch from this monumental, once-in-a-decade national event into something that feels more like a routine freight service. But here's the wild part. Falcon is just the warm-up act. The vision for Starship is to operate less like a rocket company and more like a global airline, aiming for a launch rate of over 8,000 launches per year. It's a number that sounds like science fiction, but it's what's needed for the bigger plan. So, how does this all come together? The revived Dojo project, the tunnels, the rockets. This is where it all clicks into place as one single cohesive strategy. So here's the playbook, plain and simple. Step 1, SpaceX makes getting to space cheap and routine. Step 2, Tesla uses that cheap access to build AI infrastructure in orbit where there are basically no physical limits. And step 3, that ridiculously powerful AI gets used to solve the hard problems back on Earth, like self-driving and robotics, while the same philosophy of industrial scaling gets applied to things like travel. And that really brings us to the final big question. We usually think of building the future as this series of one-off, heroic, monumental projects. But what happens when the tools to build it, the launch, the compute, the tunneling, stop being the exception and just become the new routine? What kind of future can you build then?